Hello and welcome to the CP1 Examiner's Report. Now, I do apologize for taking so long to film this video. This is actually the third take that I'm doing. I've refilmed so many times just to get this right. Now, as you can see, I finally have the green screen back again. Oh, you can't see the green screen? Haha, there we go. And again. The wonders of film editing, isn't it? I've set up a home studio. So here's a photo of the home studio that I have right now. Now, it's going to get even better as I'm waiting for more equipment to come in the next couple of days. Yeah, alright. Okay, so let's begin with CP1. What I want to say is this. Panda and I, we are very proud of you because you have done an amazing job at CP1. Yeah, many of you, your groups, you have demonstrated very high levels of technical competency, and I want to congratulate you. See how far you've come. Congratulations. Yeah. Now, I want you to know that CP1 was really an exercise to give you lots of opportunity to practice VLOOKUP, practice pivot table, and all the different Excel formulae. But hey, guess what? Now that you've demonstrated your competency in descriptive and diagnostic analytics, you have effectively shown that you are able to solve a real-world problem. You are able to do real solid detective work. Now, the work that you've done in CP1 is very similar to the kind of work that you see the people in the CID doing. Remember the mothership article I shared with you the other day? You know, there was this article about how the CID was roped in to help with contact tracing because there were so many unlinked cases, right? And then they were showing off their computer screens, which for us it was blurred out, right? But guess what? You remember that familiar green color bar? That was Microsoft Excel. They were using Excel and they were pretty much doing something similar to what you were doing. So here's the moral of the story. By successfully completing CP1, you have demonstrated that you have the same skills to do contact tracing just like the people in the CID, right? You just take a bunch of spreadsheets, you VLOOKUP, and then you do your pivot table, you do your filter, you do your sorting, and voila, right? Very cool. Very cool. I hope you are proud of yourself because I am very proud of you. Panda is also proud of you too. Yay! Okay, that was retarded. Okay, so let's get started with CP1. Now, CP1, question 1. Okay, what was question 1 about? Question 1 was describe what was going on, okay, what affected the majority of the passengers, okay. Now, many of you were right to zoom into the medical center log, okay, and I noticed that there were many people who reported symptoms of diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, and most of you actually concluded that this is food poisoning. Now, that is actually the correct answer. But where a lot of groups lost so many marks was because you cannot just simply infer or conclude food poisoning just from the symptoms of diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. Yeah, there is an interpretive gap. Yeah, there's an interpretive gap between the symptoms reported and the conclusion, food poisoning. Now, you might say, no, it's obvious. No, not true. Now, food poisoning is one of those illnesses that happens to have diarrhea, nausea, vomiting. There are many illnesses also, right? Like, think about motion sickness. So motion sickness accounts for nausea and vomiting, right? Maybe not diarrhea. So maybe we have some passengers who have seasickness. So there are many other illnesses in the world that have diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, or the mixer, okay? But so we cannot just simply jump to the conclusion that, oh, I see all this, it is therefore food poisoning. We need to close that gap. So how do we actually close the gap? Alright, so here we have the data set, right? So what is important is the medical center log, because the medical center log contains all the records of all the patients who reported sick, right? And especially that's where we have all the food poisoning cases, right? So, many of you were right to notice that many passengers reported symptoms of diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. In fact, they were all prescribed the medicine RX10022, which is my ass won't stop shitting. Oh, I hope you had fun reading out all the medicine names. Anyway, so RX10022 is the thing that links all these different passengers with the food poisoning together, right? Now, with this information that they're all tied together by RX10022, we can go to the passenger activity log. What do you find? You find that the passenger activities are all sorted by chronological order. Let's try to investigate and see if there's a common pattern between all the people that have the symptoms of diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. We can use this feature, okay, known as custom sort. So in order to run the custom sort function, the first thing we need to do is we need to highlight all the columns. And then we go to sort and filter, and then first sort by manifest ID, which is a passenger ID, followed by the date, and then followed by the time. And then click OK, and now all the passengers are grouped together. Now as you can see, passenger 100237, now we can see all the activity that person does. And here's another passenger, we can see all the things that passenger did. Let's get rid of some noise, okay? We're only concerned about the people, the orders, and the time that the passengers sign into the medical center. So if you notice, there is a 3 to 4 hour window between the last order and when the patient signs in at the medical center. So let's investigate some more. Again, here's another passenger who ate and then 3 to 4 hours later went to the medical center. Yeah, I don't expect you to do this for every single passenger, but if you actually analyze deep enough, you will find that this pattern is true for all passengers that had the food poisoning symptoms. And in this way, you can then establish that there is a causal link. I mean, it's not definitive, right? Since this is just one piece of data, but at least it is a very, very strong piece of information that bridges the gap between the symptoms reported and our inference that is probably food poisoning, because all the people that ate 3 to 4 hours later, they had to see the doctor and they were prescribed RX10022. My ears won't stop shitting, alright? Okay, so let's move on to question 2, alright? So what is the answer for question 2? The answer is pineapple! I wanted to actually show you a pineapple. My TAs actually bought me a pineapple, but then I took so long to grade finish CP1 that the pineapple actually rot in my home. Such a horrible thing to have, right? So the answer is, oh, pineapple! Oh, listen to pineapple under the seas, SpongeBob SquarePants, and he got diarrhea. Okay, anyway, so okay, some groups, they didn't diagnose pineapple, they diagnosed something else. As long as the justification is strong, they also get very, very high marks, okay? So don't worry about that. The name of the game is analysis and justification. It's the process that matters, not the answer, right? So now, conversely, right, if some groups wrote pineapple, but then like they're very skim on justifying or even demonstrating how they even got the answer, they can't get the marks, right? So now, pineapple, right? How do we go about getting the answer? Now, let me highlight a few problems, okay? First problem that many students came up to me is that they say, oh yeah, there's this so many duplicate passengers, what do we do? That's missing the point, okay? Why do you get duplicate passengers in the first place? Because if you did your analysis, you'd find one passenger, remember it's a 2-day, 1-night cruise, correct? One passenger eats multiple meals in a day. Each meal, the passenger may have ordered from more than one eatery. And then from each eatery might have ordered more than one dish. It's just like, you know, when you go to the hawker center with your friends, right? You go and order barbecue chicken wings, then you go to the satay store, you order satay, and then you go to the sugarcane store to buy sugarcane and then char kway teow or whatever, right? So that is the same dynamics. It is a cruise ship after all, right? All you can eat, right? All you can eat, all you can poop, right? Okay, anyway, that's not the point. The point is, really, what you're worrying about the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, sure, you have duplicate passengers, but attached to the same passenger is unique orders, unique dishes. But that also means that there are times when the passenger eats where the food doesn't cause the food poisoning, right? There are dishes that cause food poisoning, there are dishes that do not cause food poisoning. Can we eliminate those dishes that do not cause food poisoning? Those orders that do not cause food poisoning? Yes, we can. So let me show you how to do it on Microsoft Excel. Let's highlight the columns, alright? Okay, remember we're just filtering for orders in the restaurant and sign in as a patient, right? So we highlight all those columns and then we paste them. Why do we do that? Because when you're just filtering, you're only hiding the rows. Yeah? There's still data in between the rows that are visible, those hidden data. So by copying and pasting the filtered information, we only get the filtered results. Yeah? So we don't have the stuff about when they go to casino or swimming pool and all that. Okay. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to VLOOKUP the medicine RX10022. Yes, don't stop shitting. Okay, so let's do that. What is common between the two spreadsheets is the manifest ID that allows us to link the two spreadsheets together to pull the medicine. So let's do that. VLOOKUP manifest ID, and then we highlight the columns E to G, and then we want to pull column 3, which contains the medicine, right? Then we expand. Okay, now we do the filter. okay, and we just filter for the medicine RX10022, okay, and done. Like in this case, passenger 101010, eat, then see doctor, right? But what's the only relevant meal? We just want the eat and then see doctor, right? In fact, all the food poisoning cases, we just want the eat and see doctor, or rather, the case where the order was made just before seeing the doctor, right? So we can do an Excel formula like this. If, okay, the first cell, okay, says orders in the restaurant or room service delivery, and the next cell says sign in as a patient at the medical center, right? So how do we do this in an Excel formula, right? We write it as equals to if bracket and bracket the first cell, which is F5, equals to orders in the restaurant or room service delivery, then comma, then the next cell F6 equals to sign in as a patient at the medical center, right? Then you close bracket. So what do we do if this two cells says those words that we want? Then we say the affected meal, yeah? And if it's not the case, then we just say something like, just leave it blank lah, two quotation marks with nothing inside, okay? Now, we do that, and we expand. So let's now do a filter, okay? And we just filter only for the affected meal, alright? And what do we find? Now we have flagged all the orders that are problematic, yeah, with the words the affected meal. Okay. So now this will give us the transaction ID of all the problematic orders. Okay, now this is very important because later on we can go to the food order log. So let's just copy all those data and paste it into a new spreadsheet. That way we only have those visible rows. We don't want the hidden information. Now that we have this, okay, let's pull the words the affected meal to the food order log. Alright, so again, transaction ID is the column that is common between this spreadsheet and the food order log, right? So we want to use the transaction ID as the common denominator, so to speak, to pull the words the affected meal. Okay, so let's do a VLOOKUP. Alright, B2, and then we go to the spreadsheet sheet 2, okay, and then we highlight columns B to H, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we put comma 7 because the 7th column contains the information we want, comma 0, enter and expand, and voila, okay, now we have all the information. So let's do a filter, and voila, now we have only the affected meals. So what we have done is we have narrowed down the list to only those dishes that were ordered at that particular meal that caused the passenger to get food poisoning. Alright, and that is how we eliminate noise in our data set. That is how we get rid of all the orders that did not cause food poisoning, and we just isolate to those orders that cause the food poisoning, so we can zoom in and pinpoint whether is it the restaurant, whether is it the dish, or is it the ingredient. In this regard, most groups, almost all groups, did a fantastically good job at it. So I don't really need to cover this anymore. Well done, well done. Now, alright, so I'll just end here. I don't want to say any more already because I've already said so much in post-tutorial 1 wrap-up video on how to strengthen the hypothesis, make a case for it, how to refute and all that. So, yeah, there's no need to repeat what has already been said. Now, some of you ask me, where did I get the idea of making CP1 like that, right? In fact, why bother putting you through something like this, right? Because CP1 is a simulation of a real problem that data analysts have to do, right? Data analysts from the arts and social sciences. In fact, I spoke to my friend who is a data analyst. Sat down with him one day and asked, what do you do? And then he explained to me his daily work routine. And so, having heard from him, I decided to simulate the problem. And I want you to know, be proud and confident of yourself, because I'm very proud of you, because you have essentially done what my friend is doing in his company. So, wow, isn't that cool? Now you have the skills, the same skills that can do the contact tracing like the CID, the same skills that my friend who is a data analyst is doing. So, many doors of opportunities are open for you now. So, well done, well done. So, Panda wishes you well. Good job! Okay, so... Okay, that's all from me. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay sane, and drink water. Alright? And take care. Bye-bye.